Hello everyone, this is Varaprasad and I am presenting you the daily current affairs which are useful for SSC, RRB and other government examinations. Let us start the session with this. Prime Minister Research Fellowship Scheme amended. Under the scheme, a dedicated division called Research and Innovation Division was created to boost research. The division is to be headed by a director who coordinates research work of several institutes under the Ministry of HRD. The new amendment makes GATE score mandatory for the students of any other institutes other than central institutes. From the academic year 2020 to 21, two channel of entries, one under direct entry and other under lateral entry, are to be conducted to students willing to pursue their PhD under the Prime Minister Research Fellowship Scheme. The scheme is designed to improve quality of research in higher educational institutions. The main aim of scheme is to attract best talent into research. The Prime Minister Research Fellowship Scheme was first introduced in the Union Budget 2018 to 19. The institutes that are eligible under Prime Minister Research Fellowship Scheme includes IISERS, IITs, IISc Bangalore and other top central universities and NITs. Above all, institutes should offer science and technology degrees. Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath launched the Parvasi Rahat Mitra mobile application to connect migrants with schemes and jobs. The app, developed in coordination with United Nations Development Programme to keep a watch on migrants' health, will also connect them to government schemes and collect their data to help them get a job in accordance with their skills. With the help of this app, the government will be able to know about the status of COVID-19 screening, bank account number, educational qualification, and other details about migrant laborers put up in shelter homes and those who have reached their homes directly. The app will also help in working out schemes for their welfare. One of the static GK question is, Governor of Uttar Pradesh is Anandiben Patel. Uttar Pradesh becomes the first state to provide facility of beds with ventilators in each district. Now all 75 districts of the state can provide higher level of care to the patients of COVID-19. AIR correspondent reports that Uttar Pradesh has 24 testing labs for COVID-19 now and around 1,300 beds with ventilator to fight with this disease. Government has issued non-COVID hospitals that they should start treating patients and no action will be taken against them. Principal Secretary Health Amit Mohan Prasad said that at this time when large number of people are suffering from non-COVID-19, then hospitals should come forward and contribute in non-COVID care. Mr. Prasad said that we can only save the lives of the people from COVID-19 through community surveillance. For this, government has constituted village supervision committee or Gram Nirgani Samiti in every village to curb the spread of corona. These committees will also supervise the persons who are coming from other states during their quarantine period and will inform accordingly to the administration. Government has issued helpline number 1800 180 5145 for any information about COVID-19. And if anyone has any query related to non-COVID diseases, then operator will also connect to concerned doctors and people can take the advice. Government hikes its market borrowing to 12 lakh crore rupees from 7.8 lakh crore rupees for the financial year 21 as per the budget estimates, so as to tackle the expected shortfall in revenue due to impact of COVID-19 crisis on the economy. So far, from the start of this fiscal year, the government has borrowed 98,000 crore rupees through government securities. In the first half of financial year 2021, the government will increase its borrowing to 6.98 lakh crore rupees against the original 4.88 lakh crore rupees. In the second half, up to 5 lakh crore rupees is likely to be borrowed against 2.92 lakh crore rupees estimated in the budget. The government will borrow 6 lakh crore rupees from May 11, 2020 to September 30, 2020 by issues of government securities and has also raised weekly auction of dated securities to 30,000 crore rupees as against the earlier decision of 19,000 to 21,000 crore rupees. In the budget for 2022-21, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has fixed gross borrowing at 7.8 lakh crore rupees, higher than 7.1 lakh crore rupees estimated for 2019-20. World Health Organization and the United Nations Postal Agency released a commemorative postage stamp on the 40th anniversary of eradication of smallpox. The commemorative stamp was designed and developed by Sergio Bardat, United Nations Postal Administration in collaboration with WHO. The stamp will be available for purchase at unstamps.org and it can be used to mail postcards and letters around the world provided that they are sent from UN headquarters in New York, Geneva or Vienna respectively. The stamp serves to honor the millions of people working together from world leaders and international organizations to rural doctors and community health workers to eradicate smallpox. Tedros Adhanom expressed his gratitude to a top Indian origin Mr. Atul Kare for making this commemorative stamp possible. EduTech FIM ELSA Corp, the full form is English Language Speech Assistance Corporation, appoints Indian cricketer Ajinkya Rahane as its brand ambassador for India, Middle East, ANZ and SAARC. Now Rahane will work with company's mobile app ELSA Speak to popularize it among Indian people who want to better their English pronunciation. It is an artificial intelligence powered app uses priority speech recognition technology to help language learners in the world improve their English pronunciation. It listens learner pronounce words, sentence or conversations to give exact errors and real-time feedback on their mistakes with key suggestions on how to improve. It aims to reach around 1.5 billion language learners in the world, hence changing their careers and lives. The modern technologies imparted in this app help to detect people's pronunciation mistakes with 95% plus accuracy. ELSA also provided a subscription grant worth 56 crore rupees for students in India amid coronavirus outbreak. Some of the static GK questions are: headquarters of ELSA Corp is in California, US. Co-founder and CEO is Wu Wan. More rural internet users than urban in India for the first time. IAMAI report. The full form of IAMAI is Internet and Mobile Association of India. India exceeds another milestone with 504 million active internet users aged 5 years old or above. 53 million more than 451 million in March 2019, which makes it second largest internet user behind China, which has about 850 million users. The United States has about 280 to 300 million users. There are around 71 million kids aged 5 to 11 years who go online using devices of family members. The numbers are boosted by the cheapest internet connections in the world. In case of internet penetration, India is at 40% when compared to over 88% for US and 61% for China, which makes India behind both countries. There was an increase in female internet users at 21% as compared to 9% for males during the March to November period, and 26 million new female users accessed online during this period. These changes can be found on sites such as Women Centric Pop Expo, which has increasing users for small towns and in local languages. North Pole's largest ever ozone hole, 6,20,000 square miles, finally closes. In accordance with United Nations World Meteorological Organization, record level ozone hole over the Arctic, which was in news in March 2020, has now closed. Scientists have been monitoring the hole at the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service, a European Union Earth Observation Program. This ozone hole became the largest one ever recorded in the Arctic region, spanning an area of over 6,20,000 square miles and confirmed at Copernicus Climate Change Service and Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service by European Centre for Medium Range Weather Forecasts. The last time such a strong chemical ozone depletion was observed in the Arctic occurred nearly a decade ago in 2011. Copernicus Climate Change Service is the European Union's climate monitoring service. It is vital to study and monitor climate change adaptation. Also provides climate and climate change information and knowledge by means of accessible, timely, reliable and users-oriented products. The last one of the session is World Migratory Bird Day is observed on May 9th. It is an annual campaign that creates awareness about the need to conserve migratory birds and their habitats. This year, the day is being celebrated under the theme Birds Connect Our World. The theme mainly focuses on ecological connectivity and integrity of ecosystem. The theme also focuses on tracking technologies that are used to explore the routes of migratory birds in the world. The World Migratory Day was first introduced in 2006 at the Convention on Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals. Connectivity has become essential for migratory species. This is because currently 1 million species are facing risks of extinction due to loss of connectivity. Migratory birds connect different countries and cooperation among them is essential to conserve these species. When the birds migrate, they rely upon certain habitats along their pathways. In some countries, the pathways are also lost due to lack of conservation steps, urbanization, pollution, global warming, etc. Thus, here the theme focuses on these connectivity areas. We are providing you the PDF of this entire session in the description box below. People who want to download the PDF can go to the description box and click on that link so that you can download the PDF. Thank you everyone. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates. Please give your valuable suggestions in the comment box.